Today we discuss the scandalous cyber attack that turned a discreet secret haven into a global headline overnight. You're listening to the Cyber Distortion podcast with Kevin and Jason. This is the insane story of the Ashley Madison breach. This is Season 5, Episode 4, Infidelity Unmasked. Chapter 1, The Promise. Life is short, have an affair. That was the tagline. Bold, shameless, unapologetic. In 2001, a Canadian entrepreneur named Noel Biederman launched a dating website unlike anything the internet had ever seen. It wasn't for singles. It wasn't for people looking for love. It was built specifically for married people who wanted to cheat. The site was called Ashley Madison, a name created by combining two of the most popular baby names in North America. Innocent sounding, almost wholesome. But behind that name was a machine built on secrecy, desire, and deception. And it worked. By 2015, Ashley Madison had exploded into a global empire. 37 million users, more than 40 countries, 12 languages. Its parent company, Avid Life Media, was preparing a $200 million IPO on the London Stock Exchange. Revenue projections for that year alone, $150 million. Biederman appeared on talk shows. He debated moralists on cable news. He leaned into the controversy. Every headline, every outraged segment, it was all free advertising.
Infidelity website AshleyMadison.com ranks Gilbert 10th on a list of the most cheating cities in America.
That comes as no shock to me.
Really? Why?
Because the amount of stories I have heard, and especially growing up in this area, from high school to now through college, the amount of people that I know that I hear, oh man, this person cheated on me, and he or she.
You know what? In Arizona, what else is there to do when it's so hot? So.
Well, I don't know, maybe your spouse?
I would hope so. That's what I would do, but I don't live here.
Biederman reveled in the site's success. But the entire empire was built on a single promise: discretion. 100% secure and discreet. That's what the website told its users. Your secrets are safe. Your identity is protected. No one will ever know. There was even a premium feature called Full Delete. For $19, users could supposedly erase every trace of their existence from the platform. Their profile, their messages, their history, gone forever. That feature alone earned Ashley Madison $1.7 million in a single year. But here's the thing. It was a lie. The data was never actually deleted. Names, addresses, credit card transactions, all of it, still sitting on Ashley Madison's servers. 37 million people had trusted a company with the most dangerous secret of their lives. And that company couldn't even keep its own promises. But someone found out, and they weren't going to let it slide.
Welcome to the Cyber Distortion podcast. This is Season 5, Episode 4, and we're bringing to you the Ashley Madison hack. If you haven't heard about this hack, you're going to get educated tonight because this is a crazy one out there.
Yeah, man, is it ever.
By the way, this wasn't very long ago. This was just 10 years ago that this hack actually occurred. So You saw the beginning part of that opening message about the hack, and website built on infidelities. Millions of people around the world really were participating on this site, only to behold that someday their most secret information was going to be spilled out to the general public. So that's the punchline. We already know that, right?
Punchline. It's a punchline.
Yeah, yeah, this is
It's
a
a freaking
cybersecurity
mess, is what it
podcast. And something really bad happened. But we're going to get more into those details. One quick thing I want to tell you, this thing occurred in 2015, all right? Between July and August in 2015. So a little over 10 years ago, 32 to 37 million users, a lot of people worldwide were impacted. Right. So there's a lot of people that really got themselves in a really bad place really fast when this occurred. But craziness was happening as you'll see the story unfold, and you pinpoint some of the basic cybersecurity concepts that just did not get applied when they should have gotten applied, that could have prevented a lot of things. First one, you're charging somebody $20 to delete all of their data on their behalf. So it doesn't get breached.
Or maybe not so
and
much.
you don't do it.
Yeah.
So, Kevin, what's your thoughts there?
A lot of thoughts, dude. I mean, going into this one, I knew it was going to be fun because this is such a crazy ass story. But, when you think about it, to build a business on secrecy and desire and deception is just crazy. It's just nuts.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned, 35 or 38 million people signed up for this at the time of this breach, or that's how many records were released when they released those records. That's insane, dude.
Yeah,
and,
I know.
And this whole business model of this company, marketing infidelity as a business model and becoming a global success, dude. This wasn't just North America. This was a global
this was
industry.
Worldwide.
Insane, man. So yeah, that was wild. And the thing that stuck out to me on this chapter is discretion actually, Jason, can you call discretion a marketable product?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Not if you're going to trust somebody with it.
It's an illusion from day one, man.
I know,
that's
right?
insane. So you mentioned the full delete thing. I mean, oh my God, man. They monetized that for, what did they say, $1.7 million? I mean, is that not crossing some sort of ethical line by marketing that and not being able to not being able to actually do it if somebody really wanted it done? I mean, they were paying to get it done, but it wasn't being done. That's insane.
Yeah.
And I mean, people are just, the thing that I guess that blows me away the most about this whole chapter is people are trusting their most protected secret of their lives with this company. And obviously that was a pretty poor idea, right?
It was a poor idea to begin with. So they were probably like, well, I'm already making bad decisions. Why not just do it like this?
Yeah, well, of course. The general logic is that if you're already screwing something up, you might as well just screw it up royally, right?
Yeah, I know, right?
All right. Well, we'll jump back into the story. Before we do, we as we always do, we want to thank all of our partners that help sponsor our podcast. There are a few here we want to thank. We want to thank Fulcrum Technologies, our friends over at Alacrinet, and at Pure Bomb. Pure Bomb's one of the newer apparel sponsors that we have here.
Pure Bomb.
Yeah, you see the dead bird, Pure Bomb. They're actually a golf brand, but after the Twitter episode, we thought, dude, if we'd only had that hat one episode sooner, how cool would that have been, right? So we kind of tied it into episode 2, and we've been wearing them since. And those guys are really cool over there. New company, just getting it off the ground. So go show them some love. They've got some really cool stuff over there. And then, of course, cyphernova.ai, the all enterprise AI platform. If you're looking to get into AI with your company, by God, take a look at it, because it's awesome.
Absolutely.
It's awesome. And it just got a facelift. My understanding is this thing can do everything, and it can even make coffee for you when you wake up in the morning.
Quickest path to an ROI.
Dude, yeah, it's awesome. So check that out. cyphernova.ai. Speaking of Alacrinet, they've got a pretty cool promotion going on right now, Jason. They're one of our longer partners that's supported the podcast for a while now, and they're running May knowledge sharing sessions. And what that really means is they're working with some of their partners to see if they might be a fit for you and your company. And they're also promoting some of their services. They cross over from solutions to services and also into talent acquisition. But this month, they're working with Spectre Ops, a solution called Bloodhound. Many of you hackers out there know what Bloodhound is. They're showing that product off, and they're talking about some of their pen testing services. So if you're interested in that, Jason, how do they get more information on this, and what do they get if they go take a look at these things?
Well, let me tell you, you click that barcode over there in the corner.
This one?
And yeah, that one. And that will take you to how you can sign up for more information. Now, the kicker is this. You got to sign up for one of their sessions and attend. And if you do, you can get to choose from any of this list. There's some pretty attractive things on that list there, Kevin.
I want one of those.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at it. I'm like, shoot, I might sign up just for that there gun.
I think I want the Yeti hopper. That's my pick.
Yeah.
Well, that's just
me. There's some great things on there. Sign up, show up, get a free gift. Don't have to make a commitment to anything. Just listen to the story, and maybe you might find something that intrigues you that you want to purchase. So you can't get anything if you don't show up, and you can't learn if you don't show up. So show up.
And they're just real cool people. If nothing else, you leave away from there with some new buddies in the industry. So check them out.
Absolutely.
All right, Jason, let's go, man. Chapter 2.
Let's go.
All right.
Chapter 2, The Impact Trigger.
Experts say hackers who targeted a cheaters dating site have published stolen data from more than 1 million users. Ashley Madison is designed to help married people have an affair. When the hackers hit the site, they warned its owner to shut it down or they'd release users' profile and credit card numbers. The cybersecurity expert says the information is posted on so-called dark web.
Yeah, I'll tell you this, it's definitely not a good situation, and I actually accessed that, and I was able to look at some of the data on there. There's going to be a lot of tough conversations. Let me get to the specific amount of data on there. We're talking 33 million accounts leaked, 36 million emails.
July 12th, 2015, a Monday morning. Employees at Avid Life Media's Toronto headquarters sat down at their desks, powered on their computers, and were greeted by a message they'd never forget. A threatening manifesto filled their screens, and blasting through their speakers was AC/DC's Thunderstruck. I guess you could say it was going to be a long day. The message came from a group no one had ever heard of. They called themselves the Impact Team. Their demand was simple: shut down Ashley Madison and shut down its sister site, Established Men, permanently. If the company refused, the Impact Team would release everything. Every user profile, every credit card transaction, every private message, every sexual fantasy ever typed into that site, everything they had, and they had everything. They gave Avid Life Media 30 days. The company scrambled. They brought in cybersecurity firm Secura. They contacted the Toronto Police, the RCMP, the FBI, and the Department of Homeland Security. When asked about the hack, CEO Noel Biederman told journalist Brian Krebs he believed the attacker was someone who had previously touched their technical systems. An insider, or someone close to it. On July 19th, the Impact team went public. They published their warning on Pastebin for the entire world to see.
You promised secrecy but didn't deliver.
The hackers wrote.
Full Delete netted ALM $1.7 million in revenue in 2014. It's also a complete lie.
The hackers explained that even when users paid the $19 fee, their purchase details, real names, real addresses, were never actually removed. The clock was ticking. Avid Life Media refused to shut down. They called the hack an act of criminality. A bold move, but steady streams of millions of dollars tends to lend itself to a gamble. The only problem was, Impact team, they weren't bluffing. So, 30 days passed. Ashley Madison was still online. And then, the floodgates opened.
Whoa, Jason. Every sexual fantasy is going to get dropped. And they were not bluffing, dude. And it's funny because Avid Life's like, we're not going to bend over to this act of criminality. And it's like refusing to bend to the hackers' demands. Was that a smart decision on their part, you think?
You know, generally I would say yes, but they were not in the driver's seat.
Nobody wants to cater to a hacker. But
Well, I
here's
mean,
the deal. They didn't. I would have to assume that the hackers had already released evidence that they actually had the data.
Well, and the back it goes back to the backstory, right? They knew that they had did some things wrong, like not deleting all this data and making people pay for it.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
right there,
I mean,
should have told them. They should have just like folded their cards and
Right.
gave the hackers whatever they wanted.
They did tell them that. We know you can't even hold true to your promise to delete the people's data when you use the full delete, and they were pissed
Yeah.
about that one.
Yeah. So that's just that's just them being dumb that they did not,
Yeah.
cover their bases. And look, they could have followed the hackers and paid all this stuff, and the hackers still could have released it. That could have happened. But
if
we'll never know because they tried to play tough and they lost.
So if the hackers' real issue with all this was the deception factor of it all, right? You're saying you can do this, but you can't do this. You shouldn't be selling a promise that you can't fulfill, whatever. Why target the users and release all the data as opposed to just targeting the executives, right?
Well, I think they just saw it like this whole thing is a big pile of poo.
Well, the whole thing's going to go down in flames for damn sure.
It's all of it's a big pile of poo. People who are running it, people who are participating in it, it's all a big pile of poo. So
yeah.
You sacrificed everybody, so we're going to take you down and everybody else with them.
Right. Well, what do you think it says about corporate culture in general that the very first thought from the CEO that it was an insider?
Well, that's what it goes back to, right? So I looked at that trying to figure out how did these hackers actually get in? What's the attack vector? What could have possibly happened? And the investigation showed no real signs of any exfiltration. Well, obviously exfiltration, but no indication of any point of origin that was being exploited. No vulnerabilities, nothing like that, right? And additionally to that, they're like, hey, it's likely an insider for these reasons. Outside possibility would have been something like insecure direct object reference attack where they can get access without having to have credentials.
Yeah.
But the other part to it was, they believe that the attack had to be on some type of administrative components to it that allowed them to get access to everything. And they believe that because the entire exfiltration of data happened in the 3 weeks prior to the breach being announced. So they did this whole thing in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
It wasn't like something that was time bombed or something that they did over a long period of time. They got in, they took this data, took them 3 weeks to collect everything.
their
And then once they
time.
collected it,
Yeah.
they we got you and you need to do something. All those indicate an insider attack from the beginning, which, going back to the beginning, why? Well, somebody on the inside got really pissy about something. And they're like, no, screw this. Everything here is wrong and I'm going to take them down. And they just decided just go full tilt.
Well, what's wrong is a company can profit from privacy promises that it can't deliver on. I mean, that's what's wrong in the whole thing.
Yeah, probably what happened was the person that was responsible for deleting all these accounts was deleting the data one by one, and they got pissed and were like, someone should have had this thing done already. Why am I stuck doing all this stuff? And then they just like, I'm gonna blow the whole thing up because I'm tired of doing it.
Well, yeah, it's insane. So what do you think happens?
I don't know. Let's go find out though, because it gets better.
All right, let's find out.
Chapter 3, The Fallout. August 18th, 2015. Exactly 30 days after the ultimatum, the Impact team posted a single message online.
Time's up.
And then they released everything. 9.7 gigabytes of stolen data, posted to the dark web using a Tor-accessible onion address. Names, email addresses, passwords, home addresses, phone numbers, credit card transactions, sexual preferences in private messages. Within hours, the files migrated to the open web. Searchable websites popped up overnight. Anyone could type in a name or email address and find out if their spouse, their neighbor, their pastor, or their boss had an account. Then came a second dump, 20 more gigabytes. This time, internal corporate emails, source code, and financial records, including hundreds of emails from CEO Noel Biederman's personal inbox. Those emails revealed that the man who built his brand on facilitating affairs was himself allegedly engaging in them, despite publicly claiming he'd never been unfaithful to his wife.
Real-life hot topic with us back in 2009, and today the website ashleymadison.com has 17 million clients. Now, is it true it's a $90 million business?
Yeah, that's accurate. We've probably tripled our business since you and I spoke, a number of years back.
Okay, so how is that? Why is the success rate so high? How does it actually work? How do you make money?
I think the success rate is foundationally based on female infidelity. I think men have always had their outlets, universal outlets. I think the internet is changing how women are pursuing unfaithfulness, and Ashley Madison's at the forefront of that.
The fallout from the breach, compounded with the rumors of his own infidelities, became too intense for him to overcome professionally. It certainly didn't look good with him still serving as the CEO of Ashley Madison. All of these variables forced Biederman's hand, and he resigned within weeks.
The king of infidelity has been dethroned. Noel Biederman, who's the founder, president, and CEO of AshleyMadison.com, has stepped down and is no longer with the company. Toronto-based Avid Life Media Inc., which is the parent company of the adultery website, issued a statement Friday morning announcing Biederman's departure.
But the devastation didn't stop at the boardroom. Across the world, marriages began collapsing in real time. Family lawyers described the weeks that followed as Christmas in September. Divorce consultations skyrocketed, with approximately 95% coming from women who had just discovered their husbands' names on the list. Government employees were exposed. Military personnel were identified. In Saudi Arabia, where adultery is punishable by death, 1,200 accounts were linked to .sa email addresses. Reality TV star Josh Duggar, who had publicly championed family values, was confirmed as a paying user. Extortion schemes exploded. Scammers sent emails threatening to expose victims to their families unless they paid up. Hack-checking websites harvested even more personal data from the desperate and the afraid. And then came the darkest chapter. Toronto police confirmed that at least 2 suicides were linked to the data breach. A Texas police captain who had served 25 years took his own life days after his email appeared in the leak. A New Orleans pastor, John Gibson, was found dead by his wife. In his suicide note, he wrote about the shame of having his name on the Ashley Madison list. His wife later said she would have forgiven him. She said God would have too. A class action lawsuit was filed seeking $578 million in damages. It was eventually settled in 2017 for $11.2 million. And the hackers? The impact team vanished. No arrests, no confirmed identities, no one was ever charged. Investigators believed it was likely a single individual, someone who had insider knowledge of Ashley Madison's systems. They logged in as an admin. They knew internal names, internal processes. One early suspect was a former employee named William Brewster Harrison, who had been fired in 2011 and had sent threatening, anti-Semitic messages to Biederman. But Harrison had died by suicide in March 2014, over a year before the hack. Security journalist Brian Krebs identified another person of interest, a hacker known online as Thaddeus Zhu, who appeared to know about the breach before it went public. Zhu had tweeted, "Time's up," more than 24 hours before any media outlet reported the data dump. But no definitive link was ever established. The case remains unsolved to this day. The hackers exposed 37 million secrets. They destroyed careers, marriages, and lives. And then they disappeared into the digital void. Never, ever to be heard from again.
They disappeared into the digital void.
Into the night, Jason.
That was something, dude. Look, here's the thing. If it wasn't bad enough, right, all this stuff went down and they couldn't solve the mystery. I tell you 2 things. One, they had some really good lawyers because they took it down from 500 and something million to 11 million was the final settlement. And the second thing was it's crazy to me when you think about it, how many corrupt organizations and just individuals there are in the world. Because even when these people were at their lowest point, granted, they did some really bad stuff, right? The corporation did as well as the followers, right? But even when they were all at their lowest point, you still had third parties who were trying to beat them down even further by charging fees to try to save them and collect their data so that it wouldn't be exposed. You still had that going on, man. False, practices of, I can get your data for you. Let me go get your data and you pay me a bunch of money. And then you're in the same boat. You're just out of more money,
Mm-hmm.
So it's incredible to me that at the end of the day, the same story is true. Just do the right thing, and just do the right thing on all parts. Even if you're doing something semi shady, like having an infidelity website, it almost kind of goes along with the fact that you were doing something illegal, right? By not deleting data and by not protecting your people, because you're already doing something questionable to begin with, right?
Yeah. Yeah, dude. It's like it's sort of expected at that point, you know?
Yeah.
Can you really trust these people in general? I mean, the whole premise behind the site in itself is just disgusting.
Yeah, the whole premise behind the site is to have secrets. So
Mhm.
they're like, hey, by the way, I got secrets on you too. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, just
Dude,
crazy, crazy stuff.
the impact team, whoever they were not effing around.
No, man. I mean, they were
They
straight
had it
up.
all. They knew they had it all. The interesting thing to me though too is if it was a hacker group that I also lean towards insider, and here's why. How many other breaches have you ever heard of from this group?
Yeah, the impact team.
Yeah, I mean that
exactly.
name alone is like, okay, well, I've never really heard of them,
Yeah.
and they're tied to this one of the biggest breaches in modern history, and it just happens to be on this infidelity site where I could very easily see where if this guy had some enemies, oh yeah, they would absolutely want to throw him under the bus.
Well, and if you're a hacktivist, you're going to do more under that same pseudonym than the one
for
thing,
sure.
right?
And if you're good enough to do this, you're good enough to do a lot more than this.
Yeah. Absolutely. So yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, I think it's probably insider job. A couple of the things that stuck out in this chapter to me was the quote they came up with for the divorce lawyers, Christmas in September.
Yeah.
It's like, boy, you know that was true. There had to be like, I mean, you think about all these things being released at one time.
Yeah.
I would think that divorce lawyers were like real estate in a after a, you know, tycoon of real estate booms. You know, there's probably not enough to go around. That stuck out the Saudi Arabian fact.
Oh,
I didn't know that. You're punishable by death if you're an adulterer. Wow.
Yeah.
That's
here's an
insane.
interesting one on that too. Not on that, but here's an interesting one I just picked up on. You know, we always say this, your employees are your biggest risk.
Yeah.
Well, in this case, they're your biggest risk in both aspects.
Yeah.
And either
To be
allowing
breached or to
allowing a breach
do
to
the
happen
breaching.
or for executing on it.
Yeah, for sure, man. That was a double-edged sword there. Whoever pulled this off. Oh my gosh. But you have to think though, today, are they looking back on this and saying, yeah, I'd do it again? Or are they thinking, God, man, people lost their lives, people committed suicide over this?
Dude, they're like, man, I got away with it. I took down these guys. Yeah, I'll do it again. That's exactly what they're
You
thinking.
think?
Oh,
Maybe.
yeah, absolutely.
I mean,
Yeah.
They got lucky,
Yeah.
but then again, they could have just been exceptionally skilled. But I still lean back towards insider more than anything. And even if it was an insider, though, still exceptionally skilled not to leave a trace.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, how do you even treat leaked data in a situation like this tied to, you know, personal information? Is it a moral failing or is it a tragedy? You know?
Yeah. I don't know, man. I think it's both in this case. I think
Yeah.
it's both. You can't tell the story without it being tragic in one sense and morally disappointing in another.
Yeah. Yeah. I
know?
mean, just the suicides alone, it just that's where it gets tragic. And it really was. It said this is where the thing gets really dark. And
Yeah.
you know, I think there was multiple suicides, even a
But
pastor that committed suicide.
even relationships just ruined, right? You know, now maybe there's for good reason, right? We're feeling bad about people losing their marriages that they didn't honor anyway, that they didn't feel was very important. So there's probably problems in their marriage to begin with. So,
For sure.
but still, I mean, treat people right. I guess.
Yeah. Well, this just goes to show that the permanence of online behavior is forever.
Right.
I mean, you
I
can
will.
say
I will.
you can say
I
it's
will.
a full delete. We're guaranteeing you we can delete your information. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Yeah. No, that's everywhere too.
It's a
So watch. The rule of thumb now is the lesson learned here is you should always be vigilant.
diligent.
Vigilant.
Vigilant.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Vigilant in watching where you put your data and
Yeah,
what you sign up for. You should always do that. The other
absolutely.
thing to go along with this is, when you think about everything that's happened here, from a cybersecurity standpoint, even if it was insider threat or insider attack, you got to think about the fact that you still did not do some things correctly in your cybersecurity posture, because an individual on the inside, regardless of their authority and permission, was able to extract data. So either you didn't vet all your employees correctly before you gave them the right high level permissions, or someone with lower level permissions got access to higher level permissions and was able to exfiltrate data they shouldn't have executed on.
Only takes one disgruntled employee, buddy.
Yeah, regardless of it's still a breakdown in cybersecurity in some fashion. So
All right, well, I think just like the Impact team, Jason, it's time for us to vanish.
it is into the abyss.
So let's do that and let our boy Blake take us on out.
Let's go, Blake.
Oh wait, season 5, episode 5, coming soon on Cambridge Analytica. Tell your friends.
Yes. See you later.
Take care.
In summary, the Ashley Madison hack wasn't just a data breach. It was a reckoning. A collision between technology, morality, and the darkest corners of human behavior. A company that sold secrecy couldn't protect its own. A promise of discretion became the biggest exposure in internet history. And the people who suffered the most weren't the executives. They were the families, the spouses who didn't know, the children who didn't ask for any of it. Today, Ashley Madison is still online. It claims 75 million members. It still offers its full delete feature for $19. And the hackers who tore it all open, still ghosts, still unknown, still free. Some say they were vigilantes serving justice. Others say they caused more harm than the site ever did. But one thing is certain. In the digital age, nothing is truly secret, nothing is truly deleted, and nothing is truly safe. You've been listening to the Cyber Distortion podcast with Kevin and Jason. This was episode 4, Ashley Madison, Infidelity Unmasked. And next time, we decode and decrypt Cambridge Analytica, the data harvest that shook democracy. Until then, stay safe out there. Remember to subscribe to help us grow and tell a friend or two about us. We appreciate your support.
Encrypting.
Your competitors aren't waiting. The ones moving fastest aren't building AI from scratch. They're deploying it out of the box. Your own dedicated AI platform, private network, private storage, complete single sign-on integration. No shared environments, no compromises. Your data stays private and protected. OpenAI, Anthropic, xAI, Mistral, and many more. The world's most powerful AI models, all accessible from one platform.
I'll research the latest current events across space, politics, and economics for April 2026.
Utilize real-time, customizable audio and SMS agents to efficiently deliver value to your customers.
Diver Service Department. I'm Vivian. How can I help you today?
Hey, Vivian. I'm calling to schedule an oil change.
Sure thing. What date and time works for you?
What do you have available tomorrow?
We've got 9 a.m. tomorrow open. Does that work for you?
Yeah, that works just fine.
White label your platform instance with your own company brand. Pre-built specialty agents, purpose-built for the work that moves your business, or create your own. Cypher Nova puts AI in the hands of the people closest to the work. Cypher Nova, your fully managed, security-first, enterprise AI services platform, delivering ROI right out of the box.